It is 7:04. I am going to call this meeting to order. We are going to begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. One sec. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, the first order of business is approving the minutes from October 27th workshop. May I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion. I'll make it.
Brent will motion, thank you. Can I have a second?
I second that.
Thank you. Any discussion, changes? We can also table it till the next meeting if you'd like.
No. I think it's fine.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
What?
Aye. That's right, there are four of us. Okay. The next piece of business is, the first is informational. The 2022-23 village property taxes. Tax bill went out in January, correct?
No.
February? When did the tax bill? Oh, June, sorry. That's just lots of tax bills.
So the tax period is now over.
The tax period is now over, and we have referred the delinquents to the county, and there are 6 parcels that have not paid their village taxes for a total of $8,625.46. The next item of business is related to the upcoming village elections, which will be held March 21st, 2023, which I believe is the third Tuesday in March. And the resolution reads as follows. As per election law, section 15-1041B and section 15-1043B, the Board of Trustees of the Village of Red Hook will hold village elections on Tuesday, March 21st, 2023, with the polling location being at the Village Hall between the hours of 12 noon to 9 p.m. On November 1st, 2022,
Essentially, this will be the 16th. Please confirm.
the 16th, the village election will be published by legal notice in the local paper, advising of one mayor position to fill, no, it's not to fill an expired term. Oh, yes, sorry. One mayor position to fill an expired term, 2 trustee positions to fill expired terms, and 1 justice position to fill an expired term. Whereas per election law, is authorized to appoint 2 election inspectors for village elections. We hereby appoint the following persons as election inspectors for the March 23 village elections: Lori Urban and Jennifer Van Voorhees. And we are also appointing an alternate election inspector, and hereby appoint the following person: Beverly Van Voorhees. As per election law, section 15, the Board of Trustees is authorized to give a compensation to election inspectors, and hereby agrees to compensate it at the rate of $15 per hour to each election inspector for hours worked during the village election. As per election law, section 15, the Board of Trustees hereby appoints Jennifer Kavanaugh, village clerk, as the person to read the results of the village election. And whereas per election law, section 15-118-4, the Board of Trustees of the Village of Red Hook,
Can you turn off
if
your
you just turn off your
speakers?
audio.
I think it is off.
No, you actually have to turn off the audio on your
Speakers on your
computer.
computer.
The speakers on your computer, or
Yeah,
Go
just
back
mute your
out
whole
and-
computer.
go back out and come back in and don't click on the audio piece.
And it's muted.
But it's on your computer. Don't ask me why it is, but that is the way it is.
Right, you're muted, but your speakers.
Did I do it?
Is that better? Yes, that's it. Thank you.
I apologize. Sorry.
That's okay. All right, where was I? Election law, section 15-118-4. is required to notify the Village of Red Hook that we utilize the registered voters list from the County of Dutchess Board of Elections and does not hold a separate registration day. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Village of Red Hook hereby approves said resolution number 27. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Brent. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Melcorca. All in favor? Or any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Next, we have the Town of Red Hook. Their fiscal year is the calendar year, so they renew contracts on a calendar year. And so they are in the process of renewing their contract for fire service with the Red Hook Fire Company. And so we are required to approve that as well, and here's why. Whereas there has been a duly established in the Town of Red Hook a fire protection district embracing all of the territory in the Town of Red Hook outside of the Village of Red Hook and Tivoli. As such territory is more fully described in the resolution establishing such district and duly adopted by the Red Hook Town Board on October 23rd, 1946. And whereas under Section 1402E1 of the Not-for-Profit Corporation Law of the State of New York, the fire company is under the control of the village by virtue of being situated therein. Whereas the Town of Red Hook desires to have fire protection from the fire company to provide such protection for the district. Whereas the Town of Red Hook holds a public hearing duly called. Whereas the town board was duly authorized to contract with the village and the fire company for the fire protection to that portion of said district described therein. Now therefore the Village of Red Hook agrees to the conditions of the contract presented in the Town of Red Hook Fire Protection District Fire Service Agreement, Village of Red Hook for 2023 to 2024. The village board authorizes the mayor to sign said contract. May I have a motion to approve this resolution?
So moved.
Thank you, Brent. Second?
I second that.
Thank you, Declan. Any questions? I will just comment that in the past, the cost of disability was not expressly referenced in the contract, and the town took issue with paying 75%, which they pay 75% of everything else. So I asked that it be expressly mentioned. It's not a lot of money, but the agreement going all along has been that the town would pay 75% of these expenses. So that's the only change to this contract from that and the dollar amounts. Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. The next item is an amendment to our bond resolution for the WIA grant that we were granted. So this is a resolution of the Village of Red Hook adopted today, amending the bond resolution adopted on August 28th, 2019.
Excuse me, Karen.
Yes.
So the last resolution was 28?
The last one was 28, yes.
Okay.
So we're now on 29 for the bond amendment. This is amending the bond resolution that was adopted on August 28th, 2019, relating to various improvements to the village water system. Rather than read all of the gory detail, which I know you love, fundamentally what this is changing is the description of the project. The dollars stay the same. The bond resolution was for $1.8 million. In reviewing the projects and looking at doing a budget estimate, we made some alterations to the project description. So in 2019, it said authorizing various improvements to the village. Well, it's going to say the same thing. Hang on. the description is here somewhere. Give me one sec.
Exhibit A?
Yes, thank you. I thought it was right up front, but it appears not to be.
The fee for services in connection with the bond issue would be in an amount not to exceed 12,500.
Nope, this is the bond resolution for the $1.8 million.
Okay, I see.
In 2019, the description of the projects was a little different, and so we have adjusted, here we go. Authorizing the village to construct various improvements to the village water system, including PFOA, PFOS removal, construction of a booster pump station at the town-village interconnect, water storage upgrades, water system controls upgrades, replacement of certain water mains and lead services, and other related or ancillary work in connection therewith. That is the current description of the projects that we will be working on under this $1.8 million project total. And this is a bond resolution. Truly, all that it's doing is changing the description of the project. That's it. But it was felt that we should appropriately reflect the current projects as we have listed them. The other piece to know is this is authorizing us to issue bonds at $1.8 million. However, we have received a WIA grant for $1.08 million. So at $720,000 is what we, the village, put into these projects, and we are in line for EFC financing. So there'll be further conversation around the financing, but we are required to issue a bond for $1.8 million for the whole project. May I have a motion to accept this amendment to our bond resolution?
So moved.
Thank you, Brent. A second? Can I second? I'm seconding, then. Any discussion?
May I ask a question?
Of course.
Is the carbon filtration still happening?
That is still on the list, yes.
Okay, but the list has been expanded to include water storage upgrades, water system controls, replacement of mains and lead services, and related or ancillary work, and then the PFOA thing. That list on page, well, I don't know, the first.
Second to
like,
last. Third to last.
Second full page. So
This one.
That one, yeah.
Or
So
also-
that wasn't in the initial bond description.
It was.
It was. So what's the change?
Hang on.
All of this was in the initial bond description. I thought it was just the carbon filter.
It was for the PFOA, PFOS.
It is not a huge change. It
Okay.
is just altering. You are asking an excellent and valid question, and I read through all of this in detail, and I thought it was right up front.
It said, including installation, construction of a carbon filtration system at the water plant,
Oh, that may not be in the new one.
and insertion of the pumping station. So that's the recital on the back of the first page. And then on the second page, and I apologize, I'm not that familiar with the project, there's other activities.
Just
Are
to be,
those new
you know
ones?
what, the carbon filtration system is no longer in the project.
Okay,
That is not, if you look on Exhibit A
yeah.
in the back, that
Okay.
is the,
I believe there was only one well that had really low minimum signs of PFOA, and we were going to abandon that well. It was well number 7.
yeah, I don't think we're using that well now. I think we did that a year ago.
That kind of took care of the
Okay, so
carbon filtration, but all the other stuff. we
Correct.
Exhibit A is the revised
Correct.
bond. And then how does the 1.8, like, were we already anticipating the 1.08 WIA grant when we were planning for the 1.8 million bond?
Yes,
And both sources are necessary to
yes.
complete the projects? Okay.
The application was for $1.8 million to the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation, Drinking Water State Revolving Fund.
Yeah.
So, but for drinking water projects, EFC only covers, the WIA grant only covers 60% of the project cost. So the project cost was always $1.8 million. So what EFC is granting us 60% of the project cost,
Okay.
and then we're obligated to pay the remaining 720,000 would be our 40%. That obligation as a village outside of the WIA grant.
So, the WIA grant and the other 40% are all included in the bond?
Yes.
Okay, and we pay back both parties?
We pay back the same party, yeah. Yeah.
Does the state?
Well,
buy
the
our
WIA,
bond?
no, the WIA grant is a grant, so
So we don't pay that back?
we do not pay that back.
Okay, but we're also issuing a bond that we repay to whoever buys it?
The point at which we issue the bond will be for the amount that we need, which we already know will be 720,
700,000. Okay,
which is why we get $1.8 million worth of work for $720,000.
gotcha, all right, thank you.
And just to be clear, the couple, this includes working on the inside of the water tower. It includes making the interconnect with the town water system. That's really an emergency situation where if, for some reason, the village cannot provide water, with that interconnect, we could get water from the town. Currently, that interconnect is not working.
And is the interest on the bond at a fixed rate?
That's not determined yet.
Okay.
The interest rate, when we issue the bonds, will be determined, but we haven't done that yet, so
Okay.
don't know what they will be.
There's some preliminary things we have to do to get short-term and long-term financing through the New York State Environmental Facilities Corporation, so we're just trying to bring everything up to speed and on level so they can review it for our funding.
Okay, great. All right, thanks, appreciate
You
it.
bet, no, good questions. Any other questions, discussion?
No, that covered it, thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that's all four, great.
Friend, for your record, that's 29.
And the next item we have is also related to the WIA grant. So this one is 30? The bond council?
Next one is 30, correct.
So this resolution is to engage bond counsel for the WIA grant. And the resolution states that whereas we've received this grant, Drinking Water State Revolving Fund Water System Improvements, EFC Project 18787, and council would be legal support, and there are people who specialize in the legal aspects of bonds and issuing bonds. And so we require bond counsel to support the financing of the above referenced project. Then now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby authorize the mayor to engage the firm of Hawkins, Delafield, and Wood to serve as bond counsel for this project. Hawkins, Delafield, and Wood, specifically Robert Smith, has been is our bond counsel for the sewer project. I will say he is very easy to work with, very knowledgeable, and I am very comfortable working with him. I can, and the not-to-exceed number on the contract or engagement letter is less than what was listed in the budget, by about half. Any questions? Did I ask for a motion yet?
No.
Oops, sorry. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. A second?
I second that.
Thank you, Declan. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. The next thing is a resolution to engage legal counsel. So this is for everything else, all the rest of the legal aspect to the WIA grant. And this resolution is to engage the firm of McCabe and Mack to serve as legal counsel. We currently use McCabe and Mack for our village council, and I am comfortable using them for these services. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Brent. Second?
I second that.
Thank you, Declan. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Jen,
Yes, sir.
can I get a copy of Resolution 29?
It's your new mailbox. Did you check the mailbox before?
You may have put his stuff in my mailbox. I have a pile of, did you made copies and things? That was for Brent?
Yeah.
I got everything else but that one.
All right,
Oh, well then maybe.
Thank you.
29 it is.
The next item on the agenda is a fire company request for permission. I have not received their request, so we will skip over that one. The next item for discussion is the sewer fees. We have passed a sewer law. In it, there is Exhibit A that has the fees all listed out. We did an amendment to that in, I believe it was May of 2021, reflecting the higher costs from the bids. And so we've done the legal part of allowing us to charge sewer fees. In discussing with council today, because everyone is not hooked up and using, it is premature to start billing for O&M costs, but it is not premature to start billing for capital costs. We are not required to do a motion, but I would like to make a motion, just to be formal, to initiate the capital fees for the sewer use district, those in the sewer use district, and we will be initializing, thank you, the O&M fees for the March billing, because everyone will be connected and using the system at that point. So I'm going to make that motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Can I ask a question?
Of course you may.
The sewer bills that are going to be going out, they're going to be on the water bills, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And will the O&M fee be partitioned out and shown? Do you know, will it be a different line?
No.
Okay. I'm just,
I can try to do that, but that's not how it's set up here.
okay. I'm just thinking that it might be confusing for some people to get one bill and then get a different one. Obviously, I understand that the,
So the way what's going to happen is the December water bill will now include, and the numbers are,
there'll just be a jump in price once you get the
well,
O&M fee.
there'll be a line that says sewer, correct?
Yes, there will be a line.
So there'll be a separate line. So there'll be a line that says water charge, and there'll be a line that says sewer charge. So the extra will be seen.
But the
The
sewer charge,
question I think that you're asking is, in March, when the O&M is added, the sewer line will just go up.
yeah, which might be confusing for anyone doing budgeting. So I just wonder if there's a way to make sure that people understand that it's,
Perhaps we can put a note.
I can add a note to the bill to
Yeah.
state that the.
it's great.
Either prior to the jump or the one with the jump,
Mhm.
why it was.
That's smart. Great, thank you.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. All right, the next item is budget adjustments. I believe you all now have a copy. There are only a few. When you're looking at the vouchers, the report that you have with it does not include the budget adjustments that we did at the October 27th workshop. So those will be adjusted for our next meeting. There are just a couple in the general fund. We have received more interest or penalty on the property tax than we had budgeted, so the adjustment is for $300 up. And in the court, there are items that we're putting in miscellaneous, and the court supplies are we're less than half. So That's just a shift in those two budgets. The community beautification has come in higher than budgeted. The nursery charge, does that go for the trees? Does that go, is
Yes.
this the right spot? Okay. So we need to increase this budget line. And
We shouldn't have to. We got some grants that are coming in. Are we gonna redo those? We have $1,000 from the New York State Urban Forestry Council that's due. It hasn't been in yet, but it will be coming in, forthcoming.
what I might suggest is that we leave it as is, and then when the grants come in, then we can make a further adjustment.
Okay,
Were those grants going to the Village Green Committee, or were they,
yeah,
because this is the community beautification?
right. So the 4,000 what we have budgeted, we're gonna adjust it by 1,000, so we should be fine.
Yes, and just to be clear, what balances that out is we had $1,000 in the budget for COVID, and we've been getting kits, test kits and masks from the county funded by the state. And so we're not going to need all of that funding. So I took 700 out of that, and then the increase in the interest and penalty for the property tax covers the rest. And then under the water fund, for the postage, we just purchased a whole batch of postage printed envelopes, and it went over budget. Water repairs are significantly under where we were last year, so the $500 will not be missed. And that's it for budget adjustments. May I have a motion to approve these budget amendments?
So moved.
Thank you, Brent. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Mel Corca. Any questions?
Is there a reason why Brent is NA on the vote in the back? That's just something left over from the,
I believe that would be left over. I probably took an old one and didn't notice it was there.
okay.
So
I'm here.
he is applicable. We do recognize him. Apologies. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I
Thank you.
assumed that was an error, so
Yes. Sorry about that. And then just on the agenda, it just points out that the next meeting is a workshop, and we moved the workshop to December 1st. Since much as we enjoy each other's company, we didn't really want to celebrate Thanksgiving together. And if I don't write that down now, I will forget. All right, now we are on to committee reports. And our treasurer, Ray Toll, is not here this evening. He had a personal issue. So I am happy to read the treasurer's report as prepared. These are account balances as of October 31st. The general fund is $1,250,947.64. The water fund is $243,612.75. Payroll clearing account is $71,042.26. The sewer fund is $32,831.98. Hard scrabble is $514.48. There's several. There must be some checks outstanding on that. Village Green is at $7,618.92. Health insurance is $4,030.59. Petty cash is $30.83. Reserve checking balances. Fire Department, $5,034.28. Police, $14,587.90. USDA, short-term assets, as I recall, $134,058.50. Highway, $30,587.87. Snow Reserve, $3,279.92. Tower Reserve, $17,713.73. Unemployment, $4,544.73. Court Reserve, $3,299.02. Office Reserve, $972.65. The monthly expenses for the month of October, general fund, $326,037.81. Water fund, $29,760.53. Payroll clearing account, $600. And the sewer, $449,607.58. That is the, this is probably not the right spot, but I just, for when you were looking at the reports, in the water budget, no, not in the water budget, in the general fund, we spent $135,000 on paving, and that expense should be in the CHIPS line. It is currently itemized under street maintenance. So just to clarify that. I believe I need a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
So moved.
Thank you, Brent. Second?
I second that.
Thank you. Any questions?
Does that affect these balances? Like, would the
No,
expense from general fund go to highway?
no.
Okay.
So the CHIPS is included within the general fund.
It's also, okay. Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, on to my reports. Start with the police report. For the month of October, there were 346 incidents, 203 in the village of Red Hook, 114 in the town of Red Hook, and 29 in the village of Tivoli. There were 105 water tower security checks. There were 104 uniform traffic tickets, and that was made up of 46 in the village of Red Hook, 19 in the town of Red Hook, and 39 in the village of Tivoli. Just to note, starting in September, we started providing patrols to the village of Tivoli, and so that is reflected here in the tickets that were issued. There were 5 parking tickets in the village of Red Hook and 8 parking tickets in the village of Tivoli. There were 9 arrests, evenly distributed, 3 in the village of Red Hook, 3 in the town of Red Hook, and 3 in the village of Tivoli. And then the fire department, I do have incident numbers through September for the fire department. In the month of September, in the village only, there were 24 total incidents. 17 of those were under the 300 number, which are EMS calls, rescue, medical assists of that nature. That is consistently the highest number of calls that go out. And, well, let's see, there were 5 alarms, 1 hazardous condition, 1 person in distress, and that makes up the 24 for the month of September. And that is my report. Those are my reports. On to Deputy Mayor Kowalczyk.
Thank you. I'll start with the monthly report for the Village Green Committee. The current balances of the Village Green Committee's related budget accounts as of October 31st are as follows. Community beautification, $1,644.60. I think that's different based on our spreadsheet. Profit and loss margin, shade tree contractual, $700 in the Village Green checking account. Balance is $7,618.92. Village Green Committee meeting was held on October 7th in the Red Hook Village Building. We reviewed the tree list for the 2022 annual fall planting day, discussed the volunteer luncheon, and the Red Hook Tree Commission for the annual fall planting day. We also discussed arrangements for site preparation with Michelle Decker of Decker Construction and contacting New York State Dig Safely prior to hole digging. The 2022 annual fall planting day was held on November 5th. Volunteers assembled at Richard M. Abrahams Memorial Park for team assignments and photo ops. 18 total trees were planted, 10 at Richard Abrahams Memorial Park and 8 at various other locations in the village. including Memorial Park, Firehouse Lane, and the Village of Red Hook Municipal Parking Lot. We also received 2 different grants, one from the New York State Urban Forestry Council for the amount of $1,000 for 8 trees planted at the new seating area at Richard Abrams Park. And we received $1,500 from the Dutchess Land Conservancy, which we used for the remaining trees. And one tree was purchased by former trustee David Seymour for a memorial tree to honor his son. A luncheon was prepared by the Village Green Committee and the Red Hook Town Tree Commission for all volunteers. The luncheon was held at the Red Hook Town Hall immediately after tree planting.
Outside, because it was so warm.
We had 21 volunteers, so it was a record turnout. And half of the trees, actually 8 of the trees were planted on October 29th. The remaining 10 trees were planted on November 5th. And I think it took us about 15 minutes
It was a little longer than that.
to plant the trees. So it was very good. It was very quick. Everything was right together, and the weather was perfect, and the luncheon was good as well. Residents and businesses interested in having a tree or trees planted on their properties adjacent village or state right-of-ways, volunteering for planting days, or sponsoring the Village Green Committee Community Beautification Project may contact David Pearson, myself, or the village clerk. The Village of Red Hook Highway Department monthly report for October 2022. The Village Highway Department is currently picking up brush during the first week of the month. I think this may be the last, well, maybe it will spread it out into December. Residents are reminded to place lawn debris, leaves, and brush in separate piles at the edge of the street. Please limit your brush piles to 6 feet by 6 feet by 6 feet, with tree branches no larger than 6 inches in diameter. Brush that includes tree trunks, stumps, garbage, or construction material will not be picked up. Residents with smaller amounts of brush are encouraged to share a brush pile with a neighbor, and please limit your brush pile to 1 pile per household per month. The Village Highway Department is picking up leaves right now. Currently, leaf pickup will continue through December as weather permits. Please pile leaves in a row at the street edge. The Highway Department will not pick up leaves mixed with brush or other debris due to possible equipment damage. And they're doing a pretty good job picking up the leaves. They're staying right on top of it, and also brush. And the dreaded snow ordinances. This village's snow ordinance is currently in effect as of November 1st, 2022 through March 31st, 2023. No parking is permitted in village streets from 11 o'clock p.m. to 6 o'clock a.m. and on New York State highways, which are Route 9 or 199, from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. When snow or ice removal operations are underway, any vehicle parked or abandoned on any street may be removed by or under the direction of the Red Hook Police Department or any responding law enforcement agencies. Costs associated with vehicle towing and storage will be charged to the vehicle's owners. And the owner and or occupant of every building or lot in the village with an adjoining sidewalk shall remove snow and ice within 24 hours of a snowstorm. At the direction of the mayor and board of trustees, the Village Highway Department may remove snow or ice left uncleared at a cost of $2 per linear foot. This cost will be assessed and collected with the next tax levy. The Village of Highway Department assisted with repaving the following village streets during the month of October: Park Avenue from Old Post Road to Linden Avenue, Elizabeth Street from East Market Street to Firehouse Lane, and Tobacco Lane from Elizabeth Street to the north and south private parking lots going down on Tobacco Lane. Revenue from the general fund CHIPS budget line will be used to pay for this repaving cost. The total project cost came in at $136,946.70. And again, this will be covered through CHIPS. A revenue from the sale of scrap metal was also received on October 13th in the amount of $553. Total revenue generated from the sale of scrap metal in fiscal year 2022-2023 is $2,284.20. Since inception of the scrap metal recycling program in September of 2007, $46,147.66 has been generated. Proceeds from this program go toward the purchase of tools and equipment for the village highway, water, and materials management departments. Residents and businesses interested in donating scrap metal may contact the village highway department at 845-758-8600 or the village clerk's office. Highway department personnel will assist property owners by picking up scrap metal upon request. The Red Hook Intermunicipal Task Force and Red Hook Infrastructure Monthly Report. Red Hook Sewer Project meetings were held on October 7th and 21st. These were progress meetings number 22 and 23. We meet every other week in the village building. I'm not going to go through all the stuff, but as of October 21st, 42 septic tanks, including pumps, risers, control panels, service laterals, and conduit runs, had been placed and installed. November 14th, actually tomorrow, November 15th, I believe, is when the plant, it was scheduled to start up, and we are still waiting to see if this will happen. We hopefully it will. If not this week, next week, we're promised.
Yes.
So they've been moving forward on this. The Village of Red Hook Water Distribution System Maintenance and Improvement Project, Sewer Service Area Operating Maintenance Procedures and Protocol. This stuff is located somewhere on our website, right? All this information, if not in the minutes.
Attached to the minutes.
Okay, good. Water meetings were held on October 7th, 14th, and 21st at the Red Hook Village Building with our village engineers, Delaware Engineering. We've discussed a lot of stuff, which are also be listed in our minutes. Basically, we're looking at our asset inventories, which are running through and have recently been placed on diamond maps. I believe
Is now the moment? All right.
now is the
Jillian,
moment.
if you would, we're going to share screen so you can see the new, this is software, and the engineers through the software program have loaded the information that we have on our water system. So the colors, so the green line that you see, that is a 6-inch pipe, 6-inch water pipe. The purple is that 8-inch? 8-inch. You can see the fire hydrants that are shown there, and we have where the valves are located, and the little red lines are the service lines that go to the properties. And with that, we do have 2 BART interns who are helping to GPS locate the curb stops for all of the properties. They will not get to all the properties, but that is our goal. So this is a snapshot of what Diamond Maps does, and the information about, for example, each of the fire hydrants, each of the valves. We will be able to add pictures and service notes. And this software with an unlimited number of users is going to cost us less than $500 a year.
The village did hire a service to go in and do GPS locations of all the valves, the mains, the fire hydrants, and that data was transferred to a spreadsheet, which will accompany these maps. And so with every repair that our water department, AKA highway department, makes on this thing, as Karen said, would be documented. All parts would be cataloged and listed, and everything's numbered. And our hope and goal is to further expand this asset inventory to include all of our traffic signage, no parking signs, stop signs, that kind of thing. There's a rotation that's mandated by the Federal Highway Administration, and also possibly all of our tree inventory on this map as well. So this system enables us to do a complete inventory of all of our assets and keep better track of when to repair, how to repair, and when to service all these. This will all also go forward with the sewer system, and it'll help us in maintaining the system as far as tank pumping, grease trap pumping, general maintenance of the pumps and screens, and also the treatment plant. So this is quite a coup for the village, and we're very excited about what this
And,
opportunity provides.
and the iPad that we purchased for the highway foreman it has been received, and the whole idea behind that is so that he can have it with him as he's going around the village and can say, here I am, what do I have here? And he can also take pictures and upload it into the system, so we have that. It's actually very exciting.
What about the dry wells? Do we have those on here too?
Yeah, the catch basins will be
Yeah.
placed on there as
Okay.
well.
Because they're
We-
not in the key now, but would it be a different sheet? or-
Yeah, it'll be different layer
Okay,
on this map. So we've been trying to do, originally we started doing a 3-year rotation, doing a third of the village every year, and then rotating. We up budgeted to do all the catch basins on an annual basis now, so we don't miss any of them. And that'll also be any repairs we have for catch basins and dry wells will be located on this map with any information as to what size and when it was replaced and what condition they are in when they replaced them.
And just to be clear, we actually initiated a 30-day free trial, I believe it was last Monday. So we're still adding. I mean, we've got a lot of good stuff on here, but this is an exciting start.
yeah.
So we also talked about the WIA grant.
Wait, hang on. Did you have another question?
How many layers are there going to be plant-wise?
Everything that's on there is a layer. So I don't think there's a limit.
Got it, okay, great.
So for example, trees. I mean, we can add trees that we've
Or
planted.
sidewalks, or.
Or sidewalks, or
Any asset we
lampposts,
choose, yeah.
or
Yeah, very cool.
signs.
Very cool.
I think clearly the folks who designed this
Yeah.
made it easy and logical.
Is there a way to, so the interns that are adding to this, how are they adding to it? Are they taking like a
They're not.
GPS?
So they're not doing the adding. They're gathering the information. So they have a GPS locator, and so when they get to the curb stop, they locate and make notes as to what house, the address, and they're gathering that information. We will need to upload
Upload
the
it,
information
okay.
into the system. It's not here yet.
So let's say that there was a public sourcing thing where people would send in, let's say we're gonna do the lampposts. That's something that could be done by a group, right? Could volunteer to do it, and then we would just give it to the village, and it could even say what the source was. That's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's been incredibly simple in that. But now, Delaware Engineering has been gathering this information over time, but they had it in a standard format that was easily uploadable into the system.
And the GPS, I'm sorry, I'm asking so many questions, I'm nerding out. The GPS locator, is that something that someone could get on their phone and do, or is that something that special piece of equipment that would need to be?
We borrowed it from Cornell Cooperative Extension,
Okay, cool, okay.
but I think it's very, geeking out. One of the things you can do with this program is you can measure. So like Brent, the other day, was it you? Someone was trying to figure out how long Tobacco Lane was.
Mm-hmm.
And Jake had to go out and measure it. But on here, you can just click points and measure it here. You don't have to.
On
it's
the
similar to-
diamond maps?
Yeah.
And it's similar to parcel access. You can do a scale map, of parcel access as well. So, I think this aerial photograph would be very helpful for even our planning and zoning boards when they're looking at future development or even new development within, or proposals of businesses within any residential or business district we have in the village. This will give you a good overall view of what our assets are, where they're located, and help for future planning. So I think this invaluable tool and a good investment.
I will add that Brent has been pushing for something like this since I became mayor, so.
And
this is,
before.
and I'm sure well before, so the fact that we actually have it here is pretty exciting.
Very cool.
And, yeah, I still prefer pencil and paper, but I could see the advantages of this quite a bit. Just to go back real quickly, we did review the WIA grant, and for Declan's information, we did look at, we plan on bidding each of the components separately. The current project estimates for the WIA water project upgrade are as follows. The SCADA system at the water treatment plant, there's an estimate of $201,000 for the Grave Street and Cherry Street. Upgrades and improvements at new mains, hydrants, where we evaluating the possibility of curbs like we did in the southwest quadrant. Connections estimate came in at $913,000. The Reddick Town Reddick Village Interconnect estimate at $305,000, and the Tower Street tank repainting at $356,000, and the total is $1.785 million, rounding up to 1.8. So all this information again will be on our website when the minutes are posted. There's a lot of stuff that we do, both for water and the sewer, every month. And I just wanted everyone to know that what it is listed, and we completely hope you shared this information. On to the next report, the Town of Reddick Zoning Review Committee. There were no meetings held during the month of October, nor the Community Preservation Fund Advisory Board or the Saltkill Watershed Community. Actually, no meetings occurred. The current balance, however, of the Community Preservation Fund as of October 31st, 2022 is $3,352,617.12. This is more than twice the amount pre-COVID. So just during the amount when COVID broke out, was that 2010, 2011? No, 2020.
2020. Might feel like 10 years, but
That's a lot of
That
sales,
is a lot of
and a lot
sales.
of money.
yes, it is.
The Reddick Town of Reddick Local Water Revitalization Plan Working Group, I believe we are done. I think this has been a 5-year commitment. We held our meeting on October 18th via Zoom. We reviewed Section 6 of the state and federal actions and programs likely to affect implementation. We reviewed Section 7, which is consultation with affected federal, state, regional, and local agencies and local commitment. We reviewed the seeker process, which will happen after the New York State Department of State signals that the document is ready for the 60-day posting on the New York State Department of State website, and reviewed major planning initiatives taken which will be added to the LWRP appendix. There were no meetings held of the Northern Dutchess Alliance Executive Meeting or the Village of Reddick Zoning Review Committee. The Village of Reddick Public Spaces Initiative, we had a meeting, both Declan and I are co-liaisons. The PSI committee met on October 22nd in the Reddick Village Municipal Parking Lot, and we discussed actually a reminder that the Reddick Village Green Committee will be planting trees on November 5th. A lot of committee members helped there. Historic Reddick and Petals and Moss expressed interest in having a pollinator garden planted on or adjacent to their properties or businesses. We discussed the possibility of new pollinator gardens locations in front of the village businesses along Broadway and Market Street, in the village municipal parking lot, on Prince Street and Broadway planting beds, and at Richard M. Abrahams Memorial Park. We also discussed placing cards or signs identifying plant species in existing and future pollinator gardens, and discussed restocking seeds and supplies for the pollinator gardens at the community center. And lastly, we discussed ideas for events, exhibits, and programs that could be held at Richard M. Abrahams Memorial Park. And that is it for me.
Wonderful, thank you. And Trustee Lang is not here this evening. I can share his reports unless anyone else was ready to do that.
I didn't get the materials management report.
Yeah, I don't know if we have, I don't think we got that.
Okay.
Does he usually compile that?
He does
Yeah,
usually compile
I
that.
don't know, it's linked to the agenda if you want to look through to it, but I didn't print it.
Oh. Well, while maybe Mel Corca, after you print through, you can report on that. I can report on the water treatment. During the month of October, the water treatment facility treated 6,573,600 total gallons, which is an average of 212,100 gallons per day. And I looked back at last year in October, and last October, the number of gallons treated was 8,868,000. So that's a 2.2 million gallon less for the month.
Fixing those leaks.
Fixing those leaks. It's a beautiful thing.
Amazing.
Nice to, actually, the consumption has been going down since July. So that's a positive thing. All the bacterial samples for the month were collected, and all of the results were as they should be. Chemical usage for the month of October, the water treatment plant used 75 gallons of sodium hypochlorite. The average daily use was 2.4 gallons per day. And that's that. And I don't think we have anything new on the other report.
And I can make the report. Materials management.
All right. During the month of October, garbage disposal costs were $703.96. Total revenue $3,069. Recycling, commingled 0.85 tons, cardboard 0.54 tons, paper 1.25 tons, total recycling of 2.64 tons. Garbage was 9.97 tons. Tags sold, $2,803. Oh, wait. Scratch the costs. I was reading the wrong year. The cost of garbage, $1,046.85. A total cost of $1,153.85. That includes fuel, and there was a contaminated recycling charge this month for $2.30.
Can I ask the difference between this month's garbage tag sales versus last year? Do we record that? in this?
We do. Last year, $3,069 of tags were sold. This year, $2,803 worth were sold.
Okay, that's interesting.
So down
Yeah.
$200,
Considerably.
$300.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Actually, we'd been on a good run for the not having contaminated recycling, so hopefully we will get back to a good run after October. All right, Mel Corca, you're up.
Okay, great. So Red Hook Together's monthly meeting was held on Thursday. No, it was not on Thursday, November 14th. It was the 4th, I think. Let me just confirm that. Sorry, everyone.
Be the third.
No, the
right?
3rd. Apologies. Guest speakers were the Red Hook Area Chamber and a member from the EDC. Agatha Backliar, the current chamber director, explained her hours and compensation, spoke about goals of collaboration and membership drive, a Furushiki fundraiser, and redoing the chamber website with a member directory. She shared a heat map project she had created demonstrating how there are days when various Main Street retail and restaurants are open and closed. The EDC representative, Emily Sakar, spoke about building a directory contact list of Red Hook businesses, as well as talking to entrepreneurs that want to start a business in Red Hook. The town supervisor, Robert McKeon, said he would be interested in supporting any town business directory listing. The Red Hook Town Economic Development Committee meets every other Wednesday in person at Village Hall at 8:30 a.m. For further information, detailed minutes of the EDC meetings are available on the Town of Red Hook's website.
Mel Corker, just a question. Is it every other Wednesday or is it twice a month?
I think it really depends,
Okay,
because they have been changing it according to people's availability.
gotcha.
It is every other, but I think sometimes, yeah,
Okay.
it has been moving around with everyone's availability. Okay. The Village of Red Hook Communications Committee. The committee meets the first Wednesday of the month at 1:30 p.m. in Village Hall Conference Room. This month's meeting was postponed due to illness, so the rescheduled meeting will be held at 1 p.m. on November 16th. The Village of Red Hook Hardscrabble Events Committee. The committee meets every third Monday in person in Village Hall at 6 p.m. This month's meeting will be Monday, November 21st. We enjoyed beautiful weather and a large turnout for last month's Halloween parade, and we are grateful for Ulster Savings sponsorship of the event, and also that we had the police leading and the fire department following with a decorated truck. That was great. We also were very pleased to host an Ofrenda in the Village Hall as part of the Red Hook Ofrenda project.
That's been wonderful.
Yes, it really cheers up the hallway.
Yes, it does.
The Village of Red Hook Human Relations Committee meets the first Thursday of every month at 7 p.m. in person. Our meeting is in the midst of being rescheduled to November 16th at 7 p.m. The Human Relations received a quote from historian Heather Brugel. We have discussed a payment plan with Ms. Brugel, which would allow us to pay $650 of the quote in 2022 as a down payment while we search for grant opportunities for the remainder of the funds. We would like to submit the partial payment at next month's meeting, and I include proposal for you guys to review.
Can I just add
Yeah.
the quote from Heather Brugel is for what?
It's for a history, Indigenous history
Ah,
of
okay.
Red Hook.
Got it. Thank you.
And it would be custom made for the village so that we could put it on the website, and we could also maybe make a proclamation. And the Red Hook Public Library Report. The Red Hook Public Board of Trustees meets 6:30 p.m. on the third Thursday of each month. The RHPL is delighted that the HVAC is finally complete after a delay of many years. Library users and employees can look forward to the summer's hottest days now with a functioning AC on the main floor.
Excellent.
Also, the library staff were trained in CPR and AED training this month. So that is that. Any questions?
This money for the project proposal, this comes from the grant or from our
So
general
we-
fund,
We have a budget line of 1,000.
right?
So we're hoping that we could do $650 from that for the down payment, and then we would try to get a grant to pay the rest.
Okay.
That would be our goal.
Does Ms. Brugel have any examples of other essays on her website?
She's worked with Bard and a lot of different, local history stuff.
Okay.
She's pretty acclaimed in this area. I can definitely send you some of her work. and some
I'll
of her-
look it up. That's okay. I was just curious.
Was there an RFQ that was issued for this, or just someone that you
No,
knew? And
just, yeah.
right.
Is that something that you would prefer?
I'm just asking.
Yeah. This is just someone that we know that works in this area, and she's also a member of the indigenous tribe that used to live here in this area, so.
Okay. Thank you very much. And Trustee Dwyer McNulty,
Sure.
you're up.
Thanks. Okay, the village building department, received $1,750, through certificate of occupancy searches, fire inspections, building permits, and site plan permits. There were 6 building permits issued. 2 certificates of occupancy, 12 certificates of compliance, 6 municipal searches, 0 orders to remedy, 0 stop work orders, 0 court appearances, and there were 28 fire inspections. There were 2 complaints of unsafe work, which were remedied. And there was a no building permit issued for work, which has been remedied. The planning board met on October 13th, 2022. Signage was approved for 31 to 35 West Market Street for Red Hook Fried Chicken. And a site plan was approved for 3 St. John Street. Nope, never mind, that was tabled to November 10th. I don't know what happened, we'll find out. The zoning board of appeals did not meet in October, because they did not have an agenda. Thank you.
And I'll just note that on the agenda, it indicates noise ordinance review, and we are at a point where the legal counsel is reviewing, and we have not gotten his commentary back yet. So that's where that is. And I see that we have a member of the fire company in our midst. Are you, you have some business you'd like to share with the board?
Sure. We were told that the parking lot lighting at the firehouse wasn't sufficient, so we got a quote.
And I'm sorry, who told you that it wasn't sufficient?
Just people using the facility.
Okay,
So we got a quote from a local electrician, and we had him install it, and later found out through, that we needed to get permission from the village to install that lighting. So we're requesting that now, and then I guess we'll also have to get zoning approval or the planning.
planning board approval, yeah, site plan. How many light posts?
5 light posts, and then a light that was installed on the existing garage, and a light on the existing building. I don't have the plans with me. What I did bring was just a letter requesting that, and then some before and after pictures to show you how dark it is without the lights. If you look at, actually I've got the order backwards on the pictures. I did the after pictures and then the before underneath. And I parked my vehicle in the parking lot in the same spot for both sets of pictures to kind of give you an idea of how dark it was before we did the lighting.
Have you made an application to the planning board?
Not yet, no. Yeah, we saw that it was a safety issue and security, and so we just addressed it, So now we're coming after the fact to get permission to do that.
It's dark.
Yeah, I was gonna say, your pictures are illustrative.
And I didn't think it was that dark originally, until I turned off the Zippo.
Yeah,
So, I always figured we've got light back there.
Thank you.
But, when you see the before and after pictures, it really shows how dark it was.
Are they on now if we were to drive by and take a peek? Okay.
well, first of all, thank you for coming in. We appreciate it. We know you don't always remember that the property's owned by the village, and that's okay, because it means that you treat it like your own, which is a good thing. And
Exactly what I said in my letter.
yeah, and that's a good thing, and yet we need to follow the proper protocol. So, and we're here to work with you. We're not looking to work against you in any way. I myself see it as probably a necessary thing. I think having the planning board review just to make sure that it's not too bright, it's not, that they're properly covered, et cetera. I did drive by the other day. They're actually rather nice looking poles. They're not big and massive. They seem to not leap out at you, but I would be happy to make a motion to accept providing permission to allow for the lighting in the parking lot.
That would be pending planning board review.
Pending planning board review and approval, yeah.
So we both have to accept it?
Well, we need to provide permission. The way this is supposed to go is that the fire company would present the idea that this is what they would want to do. We would provide them permission to proceed, and that would be pending approval from the planning board, because the planning board needs to review the site plan and all the details of the lighting and the lighting fixtures and all that, because that's what they do.
And
That's,
we're
because they're
approving
leasing the
them-
land from us, right? That's the, sorry.
hold on, two things. You said, so to me, we would be approving the permission to proceed to the planning board.
Right.
Mel Corca?
Thank you.
Or just that it's not like it's not just like a normal person that would want to do something that would have to come here. It's because they're leasing the land from the village that they're asking.
Right, because it's village-owned property. Correct.
Just clarifying, sorry.
Yes. So I am making the motion that we provide permission to proceed to planning board.
I second that motion.
Any other questions, discussion?
I think they look very nice. So I hope they pass. That's it.
Oh, I think it's just a matter of work. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
it's just a matter of making sure the lights are right, et cetera. But again, that's up to the planning board. That's what they do. All in favor?
Aye.
Alrighty.
Aye.
Aye. Rob, thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Didn't you want your photos back for the next board meeting?
Well, you need the letter, right?
Yes.
So request information.
Well, you can reprint
Yeah, I can
the pictures
reprint it.
for the planning board.
Yeah.
Great.
And they probably need, check with Lara what you need for the application and what kind of documents you need to proceed to go forward with the planning board. So she'll give you a list of stuff and.
Okay. All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, Rob.
Just something you were discussing earlier, you just might want to check with the GPS and how accurate it is. Because, I mean, they've come a long way, but it used to be 30 or 50 feet. So, it's just something to check into, that's all.
For the,
For the GPS locator, that sometimes the actual location, I think you had mentioned that
It's mapping grade.
it's what?
We're using mapping grade, yeah.
Which means,
So it's a low resolution, so it's not click here and it's 40 feet that way.
it's closer in.
It's a small window.
Okay,
Thank you, appreciate that.
Thank you.
no problem, thank you.
All right, is there any other general business that anyone would like to discuss? No, public comment. There is no one on the Zoom. There's no one else in the public, so we'll assume no. Do not have executive session for this evening. Actually, I can just make one comment. At our workshop, the board did approve hiring a full-time treasurer. We have, that job opportunity will be posted soon. It has not yet been posted, so there's no update on that. Without any further business, I think, Brent, do you have a motion for me? Oh, sorry.
Pay bills.
Sorry, you'd think after a year and a half, I would remember. I need a motion to pay bills after audit.
so moved.
So moved. Oh, wait. no, you say
Second?
that. I second that.
There you go. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And now, Brent,
Now I'd be happy to make a motion to adjourn this evening's meeting.
do we have a second?
Second. Oh,
Go for it, Mel Corca.
second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.